You're listening to
Catholic Sprouts,
the daily podcast for Catholic kids that strives to plant seeds of faith. Hey there, Sprouts. Today is Wednesday, June 22nd, 2022. Today is also the feast day of St. Thomas More, who we heard about last week, who was a great martyr for the faith in England during the Protestant Reformation. This week we're talking about the Sacred Heart of Jesus, which is the feast day we will be celebrating on Friday. We've already talked about a couple of very important parts of the image of the Sacred Heart of Jesus. We talked about the heart, the fire, and the crown of thorns. Now today we are going to talk about the cross that is on the top of the heart, and also the wound that is usually depicted to the side and the bottom of the heart. Now, first of all, the cross. Now, if you look at an image of the Sacred Heart, you're going to notice that the cross seems to be growing out of the heart. It's like a seed was planted inside of the heart and it has sprouted into the cross. And in fact, this is exactly how Saint Margaret Mary Alacoque, who had visions of Jesus in his Sacred Heart, described it. And this is a very important image for us to keep in mind, that the heart, which of course is a human heart filled with God's divine love, that love grows into something, that love has grown into sacrifice, grown into the cross. This is something that many of the saints discovered. It's something that you will discover if you ever become a priest or even a parent, is that love and sacrifice are really the same thing, that we're willing to experience pain and suffering when we love. And this is what the Sacred Heart reminds us, that when love grows, it grows into a cross. We also know that the cross is no longer a symbol of Rome's power or of a criminal, that the cross symbolizes Jesus' defeat of sin and death, and that it is through his sacrifice on the cross that we will enjoy the eternal reward of heaven. So the cross symbolizes his great gift of love for us. The next part of the Sacred Heart of Jesus image we're going to talk about is the wound. Now, a lot of times the Sacred Heart is surrounded by the crown of thorns, and one of those thorns is piercing the heart and blood is dripping out. This reminds us of what happened after Jesus died. He died and there was orders to break all the legs of the criminals to make them die faster. But when they got to Jesus, they noticed he was already dead. To prove that he was dead, one of the soldiers took a lance and stabbed it into Jesus' side. Tradition tells us that he stabbed it so deeply that it pierced Jesus' heart. And that is the wound we see in the Sacred Heart of Jesus, that the lance's wound on his heart. Now, if you read further in the gospel passage, we are told that immediately blood and water flowed out of his heart. Jesus revealed over a century later to St. Faustina that the blood and the water flowing from his heart, that symbolizes his divine mercy, and it also symbolizes two important sacraments that he has given us through his church: the sacrament of baptism, symbolized by the water, and the sacrament of Holy Eucharist, symbolized by the blood. So again, this human heart filled with the divine love of God, it is so generous that it is pouring itself out for us in love through our church and the sacraments. So never, ever believe that you can have a personal relationship with Jesus without this sacramental element. Even Jesus' own heart is reminding us of that. Yes, pray, have a personal relationship with him, but never discount how important the sacraments are. And so, Sprouts, let's pray together once again our prayer we're praying all week. Oh, Jesus, make my heart like yours. Oh, Jesus, make my heart like yours. That's it for Catholic Sprouts today. We'll be back tomorrow, but until then, continue to grow in your faith and truly sprout into the beautiful creation that God created you to be. We are excited to announce that our Rosary board books are finally back in stock. We have reprinted them with all sorts of amazing upgrades, a sturdier box, more vibrant pictures. If you would like to get a set for your family so that your family rosary is a little bit more inclusive of the youngest members of your family, you can find a direct link to grab your set in the notes for this podcast episode. And as a special treat, because we're so excited, we are throwing in a free copy of the Litany of Loretto with each purchase of the Rosary Board Book set.
This show is a production of the Spoke Street Media Podcast Network. For more great podcasts, visit spokestreet.com.